Joshua 12. Now these are the kings of the land whom the sons of Israel struck down, and whose land they possessed beyond the Jordan to the east toward the sunrise, from the valley of the Arnon as far as Mount Hermon, and all the Arabah to the east. Sihon, king of the Amorites, who lived in Heshbon and ruled from Aroer, which is on the edge of the valley of the Arnon, both the middle of the valley and half of Gilead, even as far as the brook Jabbok, the border of the sons of Ammon. And the Arabah as far as the sea of Chinneroth toward the east, and as far as the sea of the Arabah, even the salt sea, eastward toward Beth Jeshimoth, and on the south, at the foot of the slopes of Pisgah, and the territory of Og king of Bashan, one of the remnant of the Rephaim, who lived at Ashtaroth and at Edrei, and ruled over Mount Hermon and Salecah and all Bashan, as far as the border of the Geshurites and the Maccathites and half of Gilead, as far as the border of Sihon king of Heshbon. Moses, the servant of Yahweh, and the sons of Israel struck them down. And Moses, the servant of Yahweh, gave it to the Reubenites and the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh as a possession. Now these are the kings of the land whom Joshua, the sons of Israel, struck down beyond the Jordan toward the west, from Baal Gad in the valley of Lebanon, even as far as Mount Halak, which rises toward Seir. And Joshua gave it to the tribes of Israel as a possession according to their divisions, in the hill country, and in the Shephelah, and in the Arabah, and on the slopes, and in the wilderness, and the Negev, the Hittite, the Amorite, and the Canaanite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite. The king of Jericho, 1. The king of Ai, which is beside Bethel, 1. The king of Jerusalem, 1. The king of Hebron, 1. The king of Jarmuth, 1. The king of Lachish, 1. The king of Eglon, 1. The king of Gezer, 1. The king of Debir, 1. The king of Geder, 1. The king of Hormah, 1. The king of Arad, 1. The king of Libnah, 1. The king of Adullam, 1. The king of Makkedah, 1. The king of Bethel, 1. The king of Tappuah, 1. The king of Hepher, 1. The king of Aphak, 1. The king of Lasharon, 1. The king of Madon, 1. The king of Hazor, 1. The king of Shimron Meron, 1. The king of Akshaph, 1. The king of Tanakh, 1. The king of Megiddo, 1. The king of Kadesh, 1. The king of Jokneam in Carmel, 1. The king of Dor in the heights of Dor, 1. The king of Goam in Gilgal, 1. The king of Tirzah, 1. In all 31 kings. Joshua 13. Now Joshua was old, advanced in years, and Yahweh said to him, You are old, advanced in years, and very much of the land remains to be possessed. This is the land that remains, all the regions of the Philistines and all those of the Geshurites, from the Shior, which is east of Egypt, even as far as the border of Ekron to the north, it is counted as Canaanite. The 5 lords of the Philistines, the Gazite, the Ashdodite, the Ashkelonite, the Gittite, the Ekronite, and the Avite. To the south, all the land of the Canaanite, and Mearah that belongs to the Sidonians, as far as Aphek, to the border of the Amorite, and the land of the Gebelite, and all of Lebanon, to the east toward the sunrise, from Baal Gad below Mount Hermon, as far as Lebo Hamath. All the inhabitants of the hill country from Lebanon, as far as Misrephoth Maim, all the Sidonians, I will dispossess them from before the sons of Israel. Only allot it to Israel for an inheritance, as I have commanded you. So now, apportion this land for an inheritance to the 9 tribes and the half-tribe of Manasseh. With the other half-tribe, the Reubenites and the Gadites received their inheritance which Moses gave them beyond the Jordan to the east, just as Moses, the servant of Yahweh, gave to them, from Aroer, which is on the edge of the valley of the Arnon, with the city which is in the middle of the valley, and all the plain of Medeba as far as Dibon, and all the cities of Sihon king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon, as far as the border of the sons of Ammon, and Gilead, and the territory of the Geshurites, the Maccathites, and all Mount Hermon, and all Bashan as far as Salecah, all the kingdom of Og in Bashan, who reigned in Ashtaroth and in Edrei. He alone remained of the remnant of the Rephaim, for Moses struck them and dispossessed them. But the sons of Israel did not dispossess the Geshurites or the Maccathites. So Gesher and Maccath lived among Israel until this day. Only to the tribe of Levi he did not give an inheritance, the offerings by fire to Yahweh, the God of Israel, as their inheritance, as he spoke to him. So Moses gave an inheritance to the tribe of the sons of Reuben according to their families, and their territory was from Aroer, which is on the edge of the valley of the Arnon, with the city which is in the middle of the valley, and all the plain by Medeba, Heshbon, and all its cities which are on the plain, Dibon, and Bamoth Baal, and Beth Baal Meon, and Jahaz, and Kedemoth, and Mephath, and Kiriathaim, and Sibmah, and Zareth Shahar on the hill of the valley, and Beth Peor, and the slopes of Pisgah, and Beth Jeshimoth, even all the cities of the plain, and all the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon, whom Moses struck with the leaders of Midian, Evi, and Rechem, and Zur, and Hur, and Reba, the princes of Sihon, who lived in the land. The sons of Israel also killed Balaam the son of Beor, the diviner, with the sword among the rest of their slain. In the border of the sons of Reuben was the Jordan. This was the inheritance of the sons of Reuben according to their families, the cities and their villages. Moses also gave an inheritance to the tribe of Gad, to the sons of Gad according to their families. And their territory was Jazer, and all the cities of Gilead, and half the land of the sons of Ammon, as far as Aroer, which is before Rabbah, and from Heshbon as far as Ramoth, Mizpah, and Betonim, and from Mahanaim as far as the border of Debir, and in the valley Beth Horam, and Beth Nimrah, and Succoth, and Zephon, the rest of the kingdom of Sihon, king of Heshbon, with the Jordan as a border, as far as the lower end of the sea of Chinnereth, beyond the Jordan to the east. This is the inheritance of the sons of Gad according to their families, the cities and their villages. Moses also gave an inheritance to the half-tribe of Manasseh, and it was for the half-tribe of the sons of Manasseh according to their families. And their territory was from Mahanaim, all Bashan, all the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, and all of Havoth Jair, which are in Bashan, 60 cities. Also half of Gilead, with Ashtaroth and Edrei, the cities of the kingdom of Og and Bashan, were for the sons of Machir, the son of Manasseh, for half of the sons of Machir according to their families. These are the territories which Moses apportioned for an inheritance in the plains of Moab, beyond the Jordan at Jericho to the east. But to the tribe of Levi Moses did not give an inheritance. Yahweh, the God of Israel, is their inheritance, as he had promised to them. Psalm 145, a praise of David. Aleph. I will exalt you, my God, O King, and I will bless your name forever and ever. Beth. Every day I will bless you, and I will praise your name forever and ever. Gimel. Great is Yahweh, and highly to be praised, and his greatness is unsearchable. Daleth. One generation shall laud your works to another, and shall declare your mighty deeds. Hey. On the glorious splendor of your majesty, and on the words of your wondrous deeds I will muse. Vav. Men shall speak of the strength of your fearsome acts, and I will recount your greatness. Zion. They shall pour forth the memory of your abundant goodness, and will shout joyfully of your righteousness. Hath. Yahweh is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger, and great in loving kindness. Taith. Yahweh is good to all, and his compassions are over all his works. Yod. All your works, O Yahweh, shall give thanks to you, and your holy ones shall bless you. Kaf. They shall speak of the glory of your kingdom, and talk of your might. Lamed. To make known to the sons of men his mighty deeds, and the glory of the majesty of his kingdom. Mem. Your kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and your dominion endures from generation to generation. Samach. Yahweh sustains all who fall, and raises up all who are bowed down. Ayin. The eyes of all wait on you, and you give them their food in due time. Pei. You open your hand and satisfy the desire of every living thing. Tzadeh. Yahweh is righteous in all his ways, and holy in all his works. Kof. Yahweh is near to all who call upon him, to all who call upon him in truth. Resh. He will work out the desire of those who fear him. He will hear their cry for help, and he will save them. Shin, Yahweh keeps all who love him, but all the wicked he will destroy. Tav, my mouth will speak the praise of Yahweh, and all flesh will bless his holy name forever and ever. Jeremiah 6. Flee for safety, O sons of Benjamin, from the midst of Jerusalem. Now blow a trumpet in Tekoa, and raise a signal over Beth Hakerem. For evil looks down from the north, as well as great destruction. The comely and delicate one, the daughter of Zion, I will ruin. Shepherds and their flocks will come to her. They will pitch their tents around her. They will pasture each in his place. Set yourselves apart for war against her. Arise, and let us go up at noon. Woe to us, for the day declines, for the shadows of the evening stretch out. Arise, and let us go up by night, and destroy her palaces. For thus says Yahweh of hosts, cut down her trees, and cast up a siege against Jerusalem. This is the city to be punished, in whose midst there is only oppression. Like a well keeps its waters fresh, so she keeps fresh her evil. Violence and devastation are heard in her. Sickness and wounds are continually before me. Heed discipline, O Jerusalem. Let my soul become disgusted at you, lest I make you a desolation, a land not inhabited. Thus says Yahweh of hosts, they will thoroughly glean as the vine the remnant of Israel. Pass your hand again like a grape-gatherer over the branches. To whom shall I speak and give warning that they may hear? Behold, their ears are uncircumcised, and they cannot give heed. Behold, the word of Yahweh has become a reproach to them. They have no delight in it. But I am full of the wrath of Yahweh. I am weary of holding it in. Pour it out on the infants in the street, and on the gathering of choice men together. For both husband and wife shall be captured, the aged with the one full of days. Their houses shall be turned over to others, their fields and their wives together. For I will stretch out my hand against the inhabitants of the land, declares Yahweh. For from the least of them even to the greatest of them, every one is greedy for gain, and from the prophet even to the priest, every one practices lying. They have healed the brokenness of my people superficially, saying, Peace, peace, but there is no peace. Were they ashamed because of the abomination they have done? They were not even ashamed at all. They did not even know how to feel dishonor. Therefore they shall fall among those who fall. At the time that I punish them, they shall be cast down, says Yahweh. Thus says Yahweh, stand by the ways and see and ask for the ancient paths, where the good way is, and walk in it, and you will find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk in it. And I set watchmen over you, saying, give heed to the sound of the trumpet. But they said, we will not give heed. Therefore hear, O nations, and know, O congregation, what is among them. Hear, O earth, behold, I am bringing evil on this people, the fruit of their plans, because they have not given heed to my words. And as for my law, they have rejected it also. For what purpose does frankincense come to me from Sheba, and the sweet cane from a distant land? Your burnt offerings are not acceptable, and your sacrifices are not pleasing to me. Therefore thus says Yahweh, behold, I am laying stumbling blocks before this people, and they will stumble against them. Fathers and sons together, neighbor and friend will perish. Thus says Yahweh, behold, a people is coming from the land of the north, and a great nation will be aroused from the remote parts of the earth. They take hold of bow and spear. They are cruel and have no compassion. Their voice roars like the sea, and they ride on horses, arranged as a man for the battle against you, O daughter of Zion. We have heard the report of it. Our hands are limp. Distress has taken hold of us, pain as of a woman in childbirth. Do not go out into the field, and do not walk on the road, for the enemy has a sword. Terror is on every side. O daughter of my people, gird yourself with sackcloth and roll in ashes. Mourn as for an only son, a lamentation most bitter, for suddenly the destroyer will come upon us. I have made you a tester of metals and an assayer among my people, that you may know and test their way. All of them are rebelliously stubborn, going about as a slanderer. They are bronze and iron. They, all of them, are corrupt. The bellows blow fiercely, the lead is consumed by the fire. In vain the refining goes on, but the evil ones are not separated. They call them rejected silver, because Yahweh has rejected them. Matthew 20. For the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire laborers for his vineyard. Now when he had agreed with the laborers for a denarius for the day, he sent them into his vineyard. And he went out about the third hour, and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. And to those he said, You also go into the vineyard, and whatever is right I will give you. And so they went. Again he went out about the 6th hour, and the 9th hour, and he did the same thing. And about the 11th hour he went out, and found others standing around. And he said to them, Why have you been standing here idle all day long? They said to him, Because no one hired us. He said to them, You go into the vineyard too. Now when evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to his foreman, Call the laborers and pay them their wages, beginning with the last group to the first. And when those hired about the 11th hour came, each one received a denarius. And when those hired first came, they supposed that they would receive more, but each of them also received a denarius. Now when they received it, they were grumbling at the landowner, saying, These last men have worked only 1 hour, and you have made them equal to us, who have borne the burden of the day in the scorching heat. But he answered and said to one of them, Friend, I am doing you no wrong. Did you not agree with me for a denarius? Take what is yours and go. But I wish to give to this last man the same as to you. Is it not lawful for me to do what I wish with what is my own? Or is your eye envious because I am generous? So the last shall be first, and the first last. And as Jesus was about to go up to Jerusalem, he took the 12 disciples aside by themselves, and on the way he said to them, Behold, we are going up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be betrayed to the chief priests and the scribes, and they will condemn him to death, and will deliver him over to the Gentiles to mock and flog and crucify him, and on the third day he will be raised up. Then the mother of the sons of Zebedee came to him with her sons, bowing down and making a request of him. And he said to her, What do you wish? She said to him, Command that in your kingdom these 2 sons of mine may sit, one on your right and one on your left. But Jesus answered and said, You do not know what you are asking. Are you able to drink the cup that I am about to drink? They said to him, We are able. He said to them, My cup you shall drink, but to sit on my right and on my left, this is not mine to give, but it is for those for whom it has been prepared by my Father. And hearing this, the 10 became indignant with the 2 brothers. But Jesus called them to himself and said, You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their great men exercise authority over them. It is not this way among you, but whoever wishes to become great among you shall be your servant, and whoever wishes to be first among you shall be your slave. Just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life a ransom for many. And as they were leaving Jericho, a large crowd followed him. And behold, 2 blind men sitting by the road, hearing that Jesus was passing by, cried out, saying, Lord, have mercy on us, Son of David. But the crowd sternly told them to be quiet. But they cried out all the more, saying, Lord, Son of David, have mercy on us. And Jesus stopped and called them and said, What do you want me to do for you? They said to him, Lord, that our eyes be opened. And moved with compassion, Jesus touched their eyes, and immediately they regained their sight and followed him.